Now, I couldn't lead with the hips in the downswing until I was shown this drill by my old coach. And that is the exact drill you're seeing Xander Schauffele do here with his dad, who is also his coach. So, of course, the recent PGA Championship winner. Now, if I go and replicate the impact I used to have before I had this lesson with my old coach, I'll go straight to those feelings I used to have in my swing. We have a look, very armsy, slow it down at impact there. No rotation to speak of. Definitely no leading with the hips whatsoever. So no visible left back pocket. So, and then if I go and have that same feel as we had after that lesson, which was created by the drills we're going to talk about, look at the difference here. So we can see coming down, way more body movement, way more rotation. Look at impact. We can see that left back pocket of my trousers. So absolutely awesome. And again, pretty much all of you're going to have great results with this feel. As me being a golfer who has cerebral palsy, or at my left side, really tight muscles, I shouldn't be able to do this. I shouldn't be able to rotate as well as I do. I shouldn't be able to lead and clear my hips, but I can. So I've got the things in my golf swing, which we're going to touch on. But of course, I've got the feeling through this drill. So let's dive straight into this drill, how we can do it and how we can do it on our own and not need someone else to help us. Okay, so if we look at that video of Xander Schauffele again, we can very clearly see what is his dad doing. His dad is grabbing the club shaft, so his club can't move at all, and he's just moving his body, getting that left hip going back. Now, absolutely brilliant. What is that doing? That's creating such a huge stretch up his left side, and that's isolating this hip movement, so he can solely focus on that. Absolutely brilliant for accuracy and power. Xander isn't the biggest guy in the world, and he can have a ball speed of 180 miles an hour with his driver. Big reason is because of how well, as we can see him swing a golf club here, he moves and leads with those hips. Now, of course, we don't all have someone to help us with our practice. And other than me in my lesson with my old coach, where he did the exact same thing here, of course, when I went and practiced afterwards, I didn't have my coach there with me. So how did I go about doing that? Now, let's watch here. Now, if you're, let's say, regular viewers of the channel, who've been watching me for a while, here's my old net. Here's the old area I used to film the videos. And you will remember, if you could see here with me, I've got that resistance band on the upright there, and I'm gripping it, and I am turning those hips. So unfortunately, I can't do that here. I don't have anywhere to tie that resistance band up, but this is a great way to go about and do that drill. So this is where I'm creating that tension. I can't do anything with my upper body, and I'm isolating that movement, getting those hips to open up and feeling, and you will be shocked at how much of a feeling it gives you. It is like a light bulb moment of really getting okay, and you'll be like, that's what rotating the hips feel like. So just like with that drill you just seen me doing there in my old video setup, and then replicating that feel gets you really opening up and turning those hips really, really well. So how can we do that without a resistance band or anything else, or someone else helping us? This is how we can do it. There's two ways here. So first and foremost, get your left arm, pin that left arm across your chest. Now, what I want you to do, keep that left arm pinned and turn that lower body. Still get that weight into the left-hand side, but get that left hip really moving back and really pin that upper body back. So there we go. You can feel big stretch as you do it. Really all up here is where you can feel it. That's where you should be feeling. You should be feeling that stretch. The least flexible you are, the more you will feel that stretch, of course. Again, me being someone with cerebral palsy, my whole left side is where it affects me. I'm very, very, very tight in that side. So I feel that stretch a ton, but don't let the thought of being not flexible or not athletic stop you from doing it. You have still got to try and do it. You do not know what your body is capable of doing. I can definitely say that from my own personal experience. So that is a great way of doing it. I would always recommend doing that a ton, which we're going to get into a little practice structure here at the end of the video of how much you should do in practice swing to real balls. So just replicating that same feel. Oh, brilliant. Okay, awesome. Okay, what's the other drill? So the other drill, very, very similar. Get your club. Put your club just along your toe line, maybe just slightly in front, both hands on it, and same thing. Now turn and twist that lower body. Again, what are we doing here? We're isolating that lower body movement. What else is it doing? It's giving me a feeling, so I can apply that feeling to the golf ball. And there we go, and we're going to get into the exact best practice to do for this in structure. Again, let's get that feeling into the golf ball, and as we're going to see, we're going to turn really, really nicely. Brilliant, Awesome. So those are two ways that you can go and do that drill that we saw Xander do. If you've got a practice partner, even better, just do it exactly how Xander was doing it. Someone gripping the club, really putting some force on it, and you turning. Brilliant. Those are the other ways though. So, elephant in the room here. Now, a lot of people don't rotate with their hips in the golf swing. One, because they don't know the feeling. This gives you the feeling. But two, because their golf swing doesn't let them. They're doing some things in their golf swing which isn't letting them clear their hips. So for example, I'll touch on two here which are really common. If a player is coming back with an open club face in their backswing, there is no chance they're going to clear their hips. Because when you rotate those hips, you're going to maintain that open club face. You're not going to have the time to re-square it. So when you have, for our example here, an open club face in your golf swing and you're swinging down, your body will resist the rotation because it wants to square that club face back up. Rotation won't give you the time to do so. So your body will slow down and you will start to flip and you will think, God, I just can't rotate because I'm not flexible enough. Absolute rubbish. It's because you've got an open club face. So have a look at your grip. Is your grip good? Are you weak with your grip and you're not matching up correctly? Got videos about that on my channel, how to match up different grips. But also we want to make sure that we have got just a nice standard grip is an easy way to go. 2.5 knuckles, that left hand with the right hand here. We want that V line between thumb and the meat of the hand, point towards right pec or right armpit. So then that's going to give most players here a nice neutral grip. Even go and look at the video I posted earlier on this week, Nelly Corder and her 3 drills. The takeaway drill will be really good to achieving a square club face. Some players roll open in the takeaway. We want to be nice and neutral with that takeaway. Again, that video is great. Again, we need a square club face if we're going to have these drills work for us. Second thing I see people do that stops them from clearing their hips is they'll be getting up to the top of the swing and they'll just purely lift their arms up to the top. No backswing rotation at all, just lift their arms up to the top. That gives you what we call a lack of arm depth. So when our arms just go dead straight up, if we then try to clear our hips from there, what's going to happen? Rotation is going to force the club out in front of you. Rotation, even if you're doing it in good sequence, will have a slight outward effect on your hands. So if you're too vertical up, you just picked your arms dead straight up, again, you might hit loads of shots and your body's just going to resist clearing the hips, because if we have a lack of rotation in the downswing, your hand path will naturally drop down. So you might think, okay, that's good. I want my hand path to drop. No, you don't, because then you're going to really suffer from your consistency going through impact of what your hands and arms do. If you have no rotation going through that golf ball, you're going to be very armsy. You're going to be at the mercy of timing. That's why we want rotation. We want to clear the hips because we want to be able to get that timing out of our game. So hands going up means they have to go dead straight back down. If a player doesn't know that, the body won't rotate to facilitate those hands going down, and they'll think, oh God, I'm just not flexible enough to rotate. None of these videos are any good for me. Again, absolute rubbish. You just got to get your swing into a good spot. I've got so many videos here on my channel about how to match up certain parts of your golf swing, how to get the variables in your swing to rotate. And I've also got a full course called The Ultimate Guide to Rotation in a Downswing. All the bits you need in your golf swing to be able to rotate. Anyone can, whether you're in your 20s or if you're in your 90s, you can rotate. So that's where we want to have left arm ideally across our shoulder plane. That's just textbook, but again, we can be a little bit up, we can be a little bit lower. We just want to be around that area. Because if we have, let's say for example, our left arm covering our shoulder, not way above it, as soon as we start to turn down, that rotation isn't going to force the hands too much out in front. And then from there, we're going to be able to have a better swing going through there. The rotation isn't going to get the club out in front. Then I can clear those hips. I can do my drills and then have that good benefit from it if my swing is in the appropriate place. So let's get straight to exactly how to do a practice, let's say scenario, to get the best results from these drills. Okay, the best practice routine to do here is with this structure, and that is doing 5 practice swings with the drills, 3 balls, and then we'll repeat that process over and over again. So what I want to do, I'm going to do absolutely, let's say this one with the left arm pinned across. I'm going to do 5 of these. Let's say 5 of those, really isolating that hip movement. Great. Okay, now let's replicate that into, let's say this one ball, but just imagine I'm hitting all 3 for the video's sake. Brilliant. Why 3 balls? Because that first ball, I'm going to be able to replicate the feeling of that drill very, very well. Second ball, I'm going to absolutely still be able to have that feeling. Third ball, that feeling is going to be almost completely gone. So if you hit a fourth one, that'll be pretty much a wasted repetition. We want to be spending our time at the driving range or practicing the best, let's say, quality we can. So that's where if you repeat that, once you hit the 3, go back to doing another lot. That's going to be extremely beneficial for you. That's going to be the best way you can practice. You're going to be practicing and improving at the fastest rate you possibly can. So this is where story with myself, when I used to do this, I used to do it with that resistance band up to an old driving range I used to hit balls at, tied it to an upright and did that exact drill. Now, I did that for a little bit too much. I did it pretty much every single practice session for almost 3 years. Did that same structure. Now, again, that got me to where I could turn hips too fast then, get everything just a little bit too into it as a result, maybe a little bit stuck from a little bit excessive hip movement. But again, you're not going to run into that problem there. I was just a little bit obsessed with getting this movement into my golf swing after that lesson. Even after my coach told me to stop doing it, I kept on doing it because I thought I knew better back in the day, and I didn't, absolutely did not. So have that little practice structure, get straight into it, and then you're going to start to lead with those hips. But make sure your swing is in a good spot too. And if you need me to help you with working on leading with your hips, absolutely. Go into the link in the description for online lessons on my skill list, and we can work one-on-one and get it into your game. And there's also that guide to help you with your rotation in the downswing. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button for more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.